As I have expected, the lady who wrote the article about Jack and Lilly, which is pretty much the best one I have seen, and it's gotten some good pieces of information. I haven't made videos in a couple of days simply because I don't want the importance of my last two videos to be overshadowed, right? So I want to make sure people to stay on the right track. And I am stuck in terms of uh, having done what needed to be done. And I know the direction now. I know where this is headed. And it's headed up north. And I know that Daniel took the ATV and he took it up north. Now, why? How do I know this? I'm not guessing around. So people show me these images of all the water spots everywhere. I've already explained why I don't need them. I'm talking about the coastline. Daniel went up to the coast. Which part of the coast that is to be found out. And I am thinking, I have no idea exactly why, but Chance Harbor region keeps making the most sense to me. I will stick to that direction because I cannot look everywhere. Chance Harbor is out towards the endless ocean, if you will. From there, the tides would carry two bodies out very easily. And they're not likely to uh, come to shore somewhere else. And no, I don't really think Malaya is thinking about, when she's going to the ocean a lot, to the beach a lot. I don't think Malaya is that smart that she's thinking, oh, maybe. But that wouldn't be smart either, because why would the specific point wherever she and her friend hang out at the ocean, why would this be the part where all of a sudden the remains show up? So a couple more things I need to make sure that we can establish. The shirts that are missing from Daniel, and the idiot, like always, has told us about it, right? These two shirts were used to get rid of Jack and Lily's bodies, in my opinion. He took the ATV, he put the bodies on there. What has gotten lost? Well, I don't know yet what happened at the pipeline, that there was a footprint. I believe that the blanket of Lily's, maybe the wind took it up 3 to 4 feet above the ground. He continued, and do you want me to show you again on the map? Why not, right? How amazing that somebody I just met online suddenly gets behind it and sends me all of this information. By doing a few simple searches. Wow, I appreciate you so much, and if you tell me to give you credit, I will. Anywho, here is the bridge. MacLeod, thank you, MacLeod. MacLeod or MacLeod or MacLeod. How do I say it? You tell me, but I'm getting there. You know what I'm talking about. This is the middle river of Pictou. By Lansdowne Station Road. I think you guys are now familiar with how this looks, right? I have not paid attention to these maps in the beginning at all. I didn't want to. I've seen a lot of guesses. I don't do guesses until a statement comes my way and I know for a fact this is significant. So when Daniel and Janie tell me 100 times, okay, now I'm exaggerating, 2 or 3 dozen times, no, 2 dozen times, more than 1 dozen times, I believe, that Daniel either never drives the ATV, didn't drive the ATV that night, wouldn't drive the ATV, she wouldn't let him drive the ATV. He sat here, he sat there, he sat up in the front, okay, up in the front of the, okay. Again, and the passive language. the ATV was returned. Well, who returned it? There is so much avoidance here. So remember what I have been talking about, that I will hammer down more and more now. So this is called shitty artwork, but it is something that helps me actually not have to get up and look at my board. Don't let them get away with no. It's gonna be a new tagline. Actually, let me notice this right now. This is, I have a new tagline, people. You're gonna see it very soon. This is lame, but I don't care. Okay, it's memorized. Thank you. So PLAIDS, plates. We are looking for priorities, leakage, avoidance, intentions, deception, and sensitivities. And I don't care. I may use this even as my thumbnail. Who cares? I am more interested in giving the accurate information and also not misleading you with some guesses just to fill the airtime. So I want to ensure that you guys, if you contact me, think about what is most likely. I don't need to get a bunch of stuff from all over the place unless you believe there's something important. My time is the most precious thing I have. Second most precious. My mind is the most precious thing. And my mind has to be clear in order to operate. And I met a few of you guys. Well, I've talked. I noticed that a lot of people don't have clear minds. And I say it straight up. And that's what happens when you listen to anything. That means that when I get an email from some of you, I already realize, oh, you're going into all types of directions. And this is not really what you're thinking. You're just repeating stuff you heard somewhere else. I don't need that. What I want is for everybody to be able to concentrate and go for it and realize one thing, that you have much more abilities than you think you have, and that you are allowed to be wrong. And when you allow yourself to be wrong for the right reasons, that is where the gold is. So, am I allowing myself to be wrong? Absolutely. Because there are channels where 80 or 90% of what they say is wrong, but people still watch them. And I used to say, oh my God, I'm not ready to make a video. And it cannot be more than 15 or 20 minutes at maximum. I think it's too long. Maybe 8 or 10 minutes, because otherwise people get tired of me. I used to, 20 years ago, I made YouTube videos about something completely different. And back then that was kind of the rule, but there were no live chats, right? I realize now if I have a little bit of downtime, you guys can catch up with each other what you think, and that's exactly where the goal is. So I am, even though a lot of the people listening to me, they're listening to so much garbage as well, so what I'm saying doesn't necessarily sink in or make a difference whatsoever. I am thinking about the people that I'm communicating with, who have the ability to filter things out. So, however, as I realize now, the types of stuff most people want is lighter, and I will remove these. I will move these in the private member section. You know what I mean? Because I also cannot expect for moderators to do so much work and remove all the garbage that's there that people think they can comment with. So I'm always appreciative of anybody that's actually helping, thinking about what can we all do to keep the quality up. So this is the approach for everything. When there's a brand new case, for example, I didn't pay attention to Jaden Spicer because Lily and Jack are my priority. It's a much more difficult case, and I believe I know what happened. We need the evidence. The mother statement regarding Jaden, priorities, we. her and her partner. Leakage? Crap, what was it? Well, safe at home is very similar to telling us that Malaya felt safest at home. But by the way, that sentence was also convoluted. It wasn't safe at home for Jaden. That is a form of leakage, people. Avoidance. And by the way, if we see priorities being the child that's missing, then we need to be open to the possibility there won't be leakage avoidance. The intentions are pure, there won't be deception, and the sensitivities are all easy to explain based on things that have nothing to do with, with what caused the disappearance of a child. Maybe, well, there could have been sensitivities like an argument happened and the child ran away because of that, and now the mom feels guilty. So you can never go ahead and make everything like a black or white kind of thing, right? There are many gray areas. However, they don't get dark enough to involve to indicate that an active, an act of disappearing somebody. Well, she's avoiding to speak to him. She's speaking to the audience. We love Jaden. We love him very much. Please pray. Well, priority is us. Thanking the public, not reaching out to Jaden or an abductor. It was already, this was a, I didn't get much into it because this was just so obvious. Please, if anybody, the intention was self preservation, deception. Please do the right thing. They have done the wrong thing. That's on their mind. And there are countless sensitivities. So basically, it's similar to when I heard Durwood speak first. It was a red flag overload where I said, you know what, man? If people don't recognize that, then I cannot help you, right? When I realized that when people tune into these long uh, interviews of Durwood, I watched it from like the outside looking in, and I asked myself, how long will it last that people are so addicted to anything that sounds like it could be something, that they are blindly following others who tell them they should tune in to listen to this nonsense. And the more I realized that people are tuning in, I gave up and I said, wow, I'm talking to the wrong people. People don't want to be taught. People don't want to learn. People want entertainment. The majority do. So, no, I didn't feel there are many times I have to take the high road and say, you know what, I am not going for the obvious. You know, it's like catching a wounded bird. It's not my style. If you've listened to my presentations, and really listened and have a right mind, and the right mindset, and you're clear, then you will automatically detect it. And what I appreciate also are those of you who are answering questions to the people who are new, who are also correcting them, setting them straight, and doing whatever it takes to keep my comment section informative, which, by the way, is the most important thing to me when it comes to my channel, the commenting section. Because I have yet to see anything as informative, as well moderated, as well done. And that's my ambition, my priority, to set the pace here. So I don't know exactly what this is all about, but I have been told a couple of weeks ago about Chance Harbor already. So there was police activity supposedly, and I looked it up and it said something about wildfires and police is present there because of the aftermath. I'm not exactly sure. So maybe I made a mistake by turning away from that, because something about Chance Harbor makes the biggest difference to me. He went from Earl's house. Something happened with the boot print at the pipeline, lost the blanket, kept on going, kept on going, kept on going, wound up here, going towards the north. That's the bridge right there. So you can follow these. I don't think he went into to Gaylord Road. I think he went down these types of roads. And I think he kept on going. He may have also, done a small part here and there, but it would make more sense if he went down to the Concord Bridge and maybe this street, unless there are many more little dirt roads. And remember what the guy has filmed. We have seen that these roads are very drivable, so some of you have said, oh, no, it was raining. And, well, I don't know, man. Give me the real information. What do you know for sure? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. We need to be very clear about that. We cannot say, this guy said this or this guy said that. Well, maybe it is, no, I believe it was drivable. And there's a chance that he took this one. It could have also been, I don't think he wanted to waste too much time. This is what, 500 meters? This would be 2 kilometers to go this way, maybe. A mile and a quarter, maybe. But there's a good chance there are many ways to move here, up here. You see? Many, many ways. Westville. Where am I now? So there are many residences here, residential areas, probably with a lot of cameras. So I would think he would probably find his way towards this one here, right? I think that he made sure to avoid cameras. And again, he didn't have his phone with him. It was the ATV, so no GPS system. And, remember all that language about putting the phone, didn't have the phone. Yeah, he made sure he wouldn't have a phone with him. He didn't want to be tracked or trackable. So then he may have wound up being here. But it seems like there's something here as well. So I believe that he had the ability and the knowledge to sort of maneuver his way through there. I don't know exactly where I am right now, but I think Chance Harbor is the direction up there. And again, I am not exactly certain with what is going on regarding Chance Harbor. Here it is, right? So we're talking about, according to Google Maps, like a 33-minute drive. But with the back roads, it would be an hour. So, to say it again, this goes out into the open ocean, getting rid of the bodies here. Well, I would think that there is too much of a chance that maybe they will come ashore, even when the tide recedes, somewhere along these lines. This makes more sense to me because it's out into the open ocean. Now, police presence was there. Then they said something about wildfire. Well, I think that there's a good possibility that the law enforcement, the RCMP, is actually looking into the Chance Harbor area, and they're suspecting it, right? So these things that come to me little by little, information-wise, and like I say, I appreciate the people who, don't send me stuff that's not that send me the stuff that really matters when I have a question, because I don't need additional information about deception. I need leakage. I need leakage telling me things such as Malaya did in her first interview.
I appreciate the huge search effort going.
So I want to make this very clear with you guys. Don't put in effort to send me the maps of the rivers and the lakes and all these things. I am looking at the ocean only. I want to make very clear that I don't want you to waste your time or try to waste mine. And I'll be very straight up about that. So maybe I will not make this video in the public section because most people want to hear what they want to hear. I am not interested in things I'm not interested in. What I'm interested in is exactly where by the ocean the kids could have gotten rid of. Surf effort comes from experiential memory. And the experiential memory is not from her memorizing having been there and watched it, but the memory comes from the conversations that her and Daniel have had. When Daniel assured her, these kids will never be found. They are out in the vast ocean along with Amelia Earhart and whatever many bodies are out there that have never been recovered and won't be either. So, my question to all of you is what can still be found to get him? And one thing I can think of course, is camera footage. I believe there is crucial camera footage somewhere along the way. I think somebody has it. Hopefully, hasn't recorded over it. I saw the post of his fishing buddy who works at the same place as him. So I do appreciate this type of stuff where I see a little bit, what's Daniel saying here. Yeah, nothing significant. Just, hey man, nice bass for sure, dude. All right, that's no problem. Didn't they try to get him on camera and he wouldn't come? But look at, groups, he's working there, right? This one. And then Daniel, who by the way seems happy in nature, but likes the mathematics. So, yeah, they're working, I guess, at the same place somewhere over the rainbow. But I'm interested in what types of locations he loved the most at the ocean. That's what I'm interested in, you see. And now to make it a little bit, uh, now finding some distance, here's Chance Harbor. And I don't know, it could be, of course, Black Point or, well, I guess I need to look up Black Point also. So Chance Harbor, Chance Harbor is the region I'm interested in. So the fact that there are not really any videos or not many about it out there tells me there are some very isolated points here, isolated locations that you can access easily with an ATV. So no, he did not use the car. The car was not used. The reason he's not been caught yet is beach in Nova Scotia. Which one is that? Pictou Harbor. Well, we want to look at whatever leads out to the big wide ocean, where two bodies don't come ashore. And so one possibility is also Malami Beach in Nova Scotia. Here's Chance Harbor, Black Point, Malami. This looks pretty damn isolated, right? And I'm sure you can get easily up there with an ATV. There are a lot of access points. This is the type of place I'm looking at. Now, please keep in mind, this is very important. There is a possibility that Daniel transporting two lifeless bodies wrapped up in a shirt because he didn't want, in case he was seeing people, to recognize that there were two little bodies. He didn't want them to see a hand or any part of or a shoe even. That he took the boots, but he was probably very careful not to lose that, right? So the shirts of his were used to cover the bodies. I think there is a strong possibility that something else was lost along the rugged terrain that he had to drive through. there's a good possibility. There's also even a better possibility that, well, I think that, it could be under a bunch of mud, whatever, but I am thinking there must be some science along the way indicating Daniel was here doing what he did. And I am certain, by the way, 100% now, he took the ATV because the linguistic um, deceptions and the desire to convince us he never drove. I told you about this before. I'm not repeating myself. If you get it, you get it. And then we have to move forward now because the ATV was used, and that's it. And I don't guess around because I don't have to. She said surf effort. Surf is related to the ocean. They had a discussion. He assured her the surf, the tides, everything, there is no issue. These kids are out in the ocean, they will never be found. And I believe him. I believe when I saw the pictures of him fishing, he seemed comfortable. He seemed more comfortable in nature than he did in society. A lot of people are like that. They feel, and also, no matter what craziness is going through their minds or how they are involved in a bad lifestyle, certain people, they can always go back to nature and sort of find peace there, right? I'm not a forest person, I'm not a mountain person, I'm an ocean person. I find peace at the ocean. So I can see how somebody actually has the I look for the essence of people. What is their true nature? And I allow the good to come in and I allow the bad to come in because based on the patterns, I can tell a lot more than assuming they are anything like me. Everybody has a different way about them. Some is nurture, some is nature. Usually it's all a combination of both. But I want to focus a little bit on Malami Beach, which has been shown in a video I'm about to share you a part of, just to get an idea. Now, I'm not set on this being the place, but this is the part with Malami Beach right here in Nova Scotia.
Well, welcome to Malami Beach. This is our first time here and first impressions. Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a long, long stretch. It'd be great if we could put the drone up, but it's a little windy, so no promises there.
We'll
but
see.
It'd be great if we can get a better view.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's long, white sand, pretty calm waters, although there was signs for rip currents when there's waves. So I think you have to be a little bit careful swimming here.
So the tide was when? So if you want to find out about the tides, go to my comment section, please, because some of you are good at filling us in. Well, now it is 2:49 a.m. is the highest, and the lowest would be 9:02 a.m. So, whenever he got there to get rid of Jack and Lily's bodies, I believe it was close to high tide, and the receding tide will sweep everything out into the ocean. But this is interesting, I guess, I don't know, Malami Beach from Roy Island. Oh, it's over there, right? Okay, this is Roy Island. Wow, man, such rugged terrain, and it's winter time. Holy crap, man. It's amazing. It's beautiful to look at, but I don't know if I would like the cold. But gorgeous to see. Wow. I guess when you grow up there, you get just desensitized. We can get desensitized physically or mentally. Mind over matter. But there are houses, there are places there. I'm not saying he was or he wasn't there, but well, I'm looking at what could make some sense here. Right. What else can I do? I don't need to guess about what I've already found out, because the statements have guided me in the right direction. Did I say wrong direction? Oh my God, maybe I need to check some things. Maybe my unconscious mind picks up on some place, because the person who sent me the footage, or whose footage was sent to me, said I was 95% correct. So I will find out where the 5% are, according. You see, this is somebody I'm happy to listen to. And I'm always happy to listen to people who have, no matter what it is, criticize me. I am immune to that. I love it when it's truth-based. Have now, especially more than ever, zero tolerance for anybody sending for you can send me what you want. I will just not read any of your future emails. If it's all about certain channels that already have been proven to lying, you can still find the pearls there, but you need to do your due diligence before you pass it on to people, right? Don't give legs to lies. Don't say, okay, maybe there's something here, maybe not. I don't feel like, I'm too lazy to do my due diligence, or I don't know how to do it, or whatever. Here, share. I see it all the time on Twitter, on Facebook, share. I don't know if there's something there or not, but I will share it anyways. And then all of a sudden, it goes out there. And people do the same thing like you. And all of a sudden, something completely idiotic gains a life of its own, like the green hoodie thing at the Texas Roadhouse with Sebastian Rogers, all based on a lie. But all of a sudden it becomes a huge topic that people base their false conclusions on. And so I will not let this happen here. This time I know better, and I know more about human nature. And I'm not talking about all humans, but the majority. So these are not the types of people that I'm looking for. Maybe I will make some material, produce some material. See, I got some new equipment here. It's not my priority, but maybe I will do things a little more mainstream and simply reduce the serious subjects to my private section, where it's sought, where people need a safe space to explore topics that most people get bored with. But here we see this rugged terrain, and we see this isolation. And as I've shown you on the map, see, Chance Harbor is maybe a little too busy. There's also Little Harbor, King's Head, and Malmary. You see, you don't have to go through too many populated areas. I'm pretty sure he can find his way there. Again, I don't think he wants these places. I don't know about the navigation thing, but I would think when the tide is receding, it's easy for two bodies to maybe get swum ashore over here. It's a different story when you have a location where there's nothing but ocean. It'll take it out in the ocean, out there into the big wide ocean. The huge surf effort that Malaya Brooks Murray appreciates so extremely much. Let's go to your comments. I didn't hear nothing. So was it something then? Also here is present tense. Shouldn't it be I heard nothing? Or am I reading into this incorrect, in my opinion? Don't say in my opinion all the time. If you put thoughts, stop being apologetic, people. I see people promote the dumbest theories and hide behind other people's falsehoods and how should I say it? Confidently to promote things that are completely wrong. Stop saying all the time, in my opinion, allegedly, and speculation, And guess what, guys? You're not gonna, oh my God. You think Daniel Martell is gonna get a lawyer and sue you over this type of comment? Well, you actually only said in my opinion, but you don't have to be careful. That's why I'm going to do this in the comment in the member section, people. Because I don't, oh my God. Okay, also, here is present tense. I didn't hear nothing. So, yes to everything. I heard nothing. How about I didn't hear the children? How about there was silence? I believe there was silence. But the silence was there since the night before. Did he go into their room at midnight? Yes. Possibly. Yes, I would say yes. Did something horrible happen into their bedroom? Likely. He told us that he turned on and off the light switch. And the light switch was right by the door. The light switch is always right by the door. Why would the light switch be somewhere inside of the room where you have to walk through a dark room and, hit your toe at a furniture piece, which some of us, no, it's always right there. But he feels the need to tell us that. Why? Because he wants to let us know, hey, I didn't go inside. I believe he went inside, and the terrible thing that happened could have happened in the bedroom. And this is where his language is leading me, Daniel Martell. I know you're not getting it. I know that the more you think, the more you say. In your world, being quiet means admitting guilt. In Malaya's world, you see, we saw some records from her brother, her dad, In Malaya's world, being quiet means you can't prove shit. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think I'm guilty or not. You can't prove anything. But look at that. Look at Earl Martell, how he approached Tint. You remember that? There's a certain mentality these guys have. They cannot sit back and say, I did something wrong. I'm going to wait until it's over. They are confrontational people. They want to get out there. They want to be heard. It's very important to them. The thought that somebody suspects them, it's a very bad thought to them. Not to Malaya. And I've met quite a few people like that. And many come from families where there have been, unlawful activities. So while some parents teach their kids never tell a lie, which, by the way, I don't think is a realistic thing to say, because, sometimes why some people say be polite to everybody, smile at everybody, be friendly to everybody, be kind, be this, be that. There are other societies within our societies where they tell the kids never talk to police, never admit shit, don't talk too much, be quiet. And I believe to Malaya it becomes very natural to just stand there and do her little surf effort speech. When somebody says, believe me 3 times in one sentence, don't believe them. I agree with you. Even twice, even at one time, it's already, why are you feeling the need to say that? And I've said it before, when somebody always says, believe me, or to be honest with you, that indicates one or two things. Either A, this person is lying right now because he or she has a need to convince us they're not lying, or they have lied to us or been deceptive before, meaning you don't really have a reason to believe me, but this time I'm really not lying. I have used a very an example that I don't really want to. All right, let's be general about this. No, let's not. Your impression of Janie's crowing voice makes, yeah. And another thing, one more. She is slow-minded and fast-talking. That's what Janie is doing, right? She's very slow-minded and very fast-talking. So, when something pops into her mind that she thinks is a good argument, even though it's shitty and even makes things even worse, she skips the thinking part completely because the thinking would take too long. I'm sure she looks back at her interview and says, why the hell did I tell them I was raking at night? Well, maybe somebody else pointed it out, but she's very self-righteous. And another, you know what? I haven't had a cigarette in a couple of days, so I cannot do the voice right now, right? So, I'm that serious. I actually I have a clear, and I'm not coughing or nothing. So anyhow, people, that's just me. Let's see. I hope there are good comments here, man. Justice for Jack and Lilly. Janie is going to do and say everything she can to protect her boys, 100%. But you see, I believe that Justin only had something to do with the cover up, But the truth will come out. Hopefully sooner than later. Jack and Lily need justice. I wouldn't be surprised if even she is the kind of woman that will say, I did it. I killed him. You know what I mean? Because I know that she feels responsible, and she is responsible in part, actually a large part in my opinion. I believe if she hadn't been nagging so much about Jack and Lily, her baby boy Daniel would have just gone about his life and maybe not done what he did. So you are the only one I'm watching and entrusting to give actual information in a timely video. Thank you for noticing. I refuse to watch hours-long daily live videos. I wouldn't be able to watch them, people. My mind would put me on alert and my mind will say enough. Either now I'm going to start talking shit about them, or I have the other option, which is, and I used to do that with Granny's Watching when Christopher Proudfoot was there. It was so insane that I just started goofing on it and people thought it was funny. So I did a couple more. Actually, I have one that I did. I have it. Did I ever post it? I may have it on unlisted or private, right? And not even posted it yet because I don't want people to get sidetracked with the obvious because it's already been regurgitated. Even Christopher Proudfoot is, he told us everything, and now it's up to law enforcement to do what they do or not do anything. I will now turn on the notification bell. Guys, some of you have said to me, oh, I missed your live. Is your notification bell on? Talk to me. Where is it? You'll find it. I guess I cannot do my own notification bell or what? No description. Yeah, I guess I have to add some descriptions to make it easier to find my videos, right? And I guess I will cut and no, I don't even want to. You know what? I feel like I shouldn't have to do all of that. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to because I'm actually putting effort into this. I shouldn't have to do all these bells and whistles, not bells and whistles, bells and whistles. I shouldn't have to do this. I see so much crap out there and they have everything, I shouldn't have to. But sometimes I like to create a thumbnail. You know what I mean? Like when I did this one. What the hell happened would have been better. Yeah, maybe I'll change it to what the hell happened. What the hell? Okay, I got it. I will do it. I want to make sure statement analysis by Mike Demand shows up everywhere because too many people rip off my material and, I want to make sure that at least I mention myself. But some of you have pointed it out very nicely when people on other channels almost at verbatim repeat what I have said and then sell it as their own without telling people where they got it from. And then the bad part is then they're gonna continue with their own material, which is full of misinformation. So they're using my research to give themselves credibility to mislead. But you know what? Who I blame? I blame the people who watch that stuff more than anything. But I'm really surprised when I first saw her picture. And, that was from, some event with Justin and um, the guy, Daniel. I don't know how long ago. She's now 60, so maybe that was, I don't know, before he met Malaya. Maybe she was 54, 55, 53. And I thought, no, she looks like a nice person, you know. So when I first heard the audio, I was actually in shock. And I said to myself, self? I asked myself, wow, how much does she have to hate Jack and Lilly? For somebody who looks like a nice, normal person to suddenly develop that crow voice that I can only do when I smoke a pack a day, right? But then I saw who she became. Maybe 8 years later, I have no idea. 10 years? No, I don't think it was that long. Daniel looks like he's maybe 25 in that picture. So I would say, maybe 8 years ago. But I saw that bitterness in her face, the hatred in her eyes. Did the color change? Looks like brown eyes there and turning into blue eyes. I don't know. Well, pictures. You know what I mean? So, anyhow, but of course, there she probably colored her hair. Now she decided to be a hermit, and who gives a crap what I look like? I'm so full of hate, I couldn't be bothered, um, worrying about how I appear. And boy, do we know. So it is no longer that much of a contrast for me, but it does make more sense because her bitterness took over. And when I saw Daniel Martel's father, Earl Martel, I have no doubt that, living with him was no picnic, man. He's probably the kind of dude that will drive a woman crazy. But then again, well, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at her like, what happened? That's my question. What happened, Janie? And don't even go there. Don't even fucking go there with Jack and Lily. They are not responsible for your hatred that you have developed due to what maybe somebody did to you and stole your best years from now. That is not the responsibility of two little children who didn't choose to live with you. So, a couple more comments I would like to do actually. I was about to cut it out and stop. Yeah, she hated hearing the kids. They were happy and having fun. I don't know if they were happy, but they were positive. Jane is a miserable person. Probably did. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Keep up the amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. One thing here, Janie made it specifically clear that Justin cried. I believe Justin cried because Belinda said he had actual real tears rolling down his face. I don't believe Justin had anything to do with the unaliving part, but I do believe he had something to do, in my opinion only, that with the covering up, and he saw the aftermath of what Daniel had done to them. She wanted, because she was crying, and for her, to me, she wanted us to know he wasn't crying for the children. She's a gem. I don't know if Janie cried. I don't think she cried for the children. If she cried, no, I don't. You know what? I do believe that Justin was really impacted actually by what he had seen. But regardless, I do also believe that he took part in getting rid of the bodies of the children in one way or the other. I believe it was Daniel who drove up there. And, well, when it comes to the cover up, I believe there are more people responsible. I will add more people to this collage as I am learning more and more from the statements that are becoming available to me. And if you would like to get in touch with me, you can do so via Facebook, Twitter, and email. Thank you for watching. I'm Mike the Man, and I'll see you next time.